What's good, everyone? Coach John over here, and I'm really just making this video as a thank you, first and foremost, for being amazing viewers, being an amazing family here, supporters of my channel over the last year. Some of you longer than that, a lot of you longer than that, I'm sure. So with that said, I want to go over some of the goals that I hit, some of the milestones, and also just to somewhat motivate not only myself and keep this as an archive to look back on in the future when I'm trying to improve from here, but also to motivate you to maybe make some changes in your life and your health, fitness, but also beyond that in the year to come. So it's basically just a recap of everything I've accomplished this year. Again, I couldn't have done it without you, so I want to thank you for that. With that said, let's go ahead and talk about this, and I'm also going to be posting a video of my goals for the next year later on in the week, as that seems to be something that you all enjoyed last year, and I think I'm going to do that every year just to again motivate you to do the same. So be on the lookout for those videos. Also, I do feel the need to mention now that the new year is coming up, if you're looking for a coach to help you get to the fat loss, fitness goals that you want to get to and increase your chance of not only sticking to it but actually reaching and accomplishing them, then you can apply down below right beside the link that says apply here for one-on-one coaching. We'll jump on the phone and we'll see if we would be a good fit to work together come 2020. All right, so I've broken this up into the different milestones, and again, this is obviously not to brag, it's just to really show you some of my accomplishments. I think it's important that a lot of us take the time to look over the positive things that have happened. A lot of times people say, oh my God, it's the new year, what did I really accomplish last year? And they start to go through a ton of different things that didn't go so well in the year prior. But I think it's very important to look at the positives as well as the negatives, because if you're only looking at the negatives, then you're really just self-sabotaging, and it's going to hinder your progress and your motivation to actually move forward and improve yourself the next year. Looking at the positive stuff, the milestones you hit, will really motivate you and help you realize that you've done quite a bit actually, and it's going to again give you momentum, motivation to accomplish even more come the new year. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, when it comes to my health and fitness, okay, I've broken this up into different categories. I put health and fitness first because obviously, I truly believe that health and fitness is the cornerstone of accomplishment and enjoyment in every other aspect of your life. I mean, it's very simple to illustrate this point. If you are in bad health, if you're sick, if you have a stroke, a heart attack, God forbid, whatever it may be, you are most likely not thinking about anything or anyone else in that moment in time except for you, your body, and getting better. So with that said, health and fitness is number one for me. I want to make sure that I'm improving that year after year. So for me, that also encompasses the mental aspect, the spiritual aspect. Now, I would say the most important thing that happened to me in 2019 was that I became spiritually enlightened and I achieved inner peace. For a lot of you here, you might be like, what the hell is all this? Don't worry about it. Just know that, or I just need to know that I got to a point with my spirituality in a state with my mental health that accompanies that, where I'm always at peace. I'm happy. I'm grateful for all the things that I've accomplished thus far. There's a lot that I want to accomplish. There's a lot I didn't accomplish, but regardless of where I am or what happens to me on a day-to-day basis, I'm grateful and I've achieved that inner peace. Of course, I need to continuously work on this. So I do that by meditating. I really adopted the habit of meditating every single day. Of course, I've missed some days, but for the most part, I can say I meditated pretty much every single day for this entire year, which has definitely facilitated that. I also didn't get sick all year. Speaking on the physical side of things, I did not get sick all year, which makes it nearly 2 years going on strong that I haven't gotten sick. To me, that's a win. I prioritized my sleep. The year prior, maybe some of you were keeping up with my stuff where I wasn't prioritizing sleep. My body took a huge hit as a result. I definitely focused on more sleep this year, and I think that's definitely paid off big time, and more than just my sickness and everything else, but mental clarity, focus, and happiness as well. Another thing, from a physical standpoint, I actually achieved my best physical shape this year that I ever have in my life. That when I did that photo shoot earlier this year, which you're still seeing pictures of in my thumbnails, that was a big milestone. Best I've ever looked. I was around 204 pounds at roughly that 8%, 7% body fat mark. So again, huge accomplishment, and I'm always looking to improve that going forward. forward. The next thing is something that might be appalling, or not appalling, but surprising. I didn't smoke once all year, and the reason that's surprising is because I know a lot of people do it, not both in the industry and out of it, but also because if you know me and my story from before, I used to smoke a lot back when I was younger, and I've slowly weaned off of it. I haven't smoked once yet all year, unless that changes in the next few days, which I doubt it will. Then that goes 1 year with no smoking at all, nothing. And I also drank alcohol twice this year. That's right, I drank alcohol twice. On both occasions, I actually drank just enough to get a hangover the next day, which obviously was not a good time, and only further reminded me, why did I even drink twice this year? But obviously, if events come up, if moments come up where I just decide to and I want to, why not? When you drink twice a year, it's all right to drink a little bit in those 2 times. It's not going to hinder my performance over the long term. So drank alcohol twice this year. These are all wins. Next, with my influence in my relationships, okay? Starting off with YouTube, again, all thanks to you guys. I went from just under 1,500 subscribers to 9,300 subscribers, so almost at 10,000. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Can't say it enough. My Instagram went over 10,000 followers, and it's been growing. Though slowed down, it's still been growing. I made lots of new friends and connections throughout the year, both in this fitness world and out of it. So very grateful for all those people that I've met, built relationships with, and I've improved my relationship with my family, certain members of my family, my parents, of course. So very important to me, those things. Now, for my career in business, I achieved over $10,000 per month gross. I've achieved that throughout this year, which was one of my goals at the beginning, but I did fall short of other goals that I have in relation to that. No problem, that's what we work on the next year, but that was a big goal for me. I actually transitioned into going full-time to my online business, so I stopped working and coaching at Orange Theory. I stopped training people in person on my own, and I just went full-time to the business, so I wake up and do what I love every moment of every day. So that's got to be one of the biggest goals I accomplished and I'm proud of. Next is I went to some great events, mastermind events around the States, and the 10X Growth Conference in February as well. Personal development, I adopted a stretching routine, so now I stretch essentially every day, which I'm happy about, reduced injury and so forth. I moved out on my own, obviously I'm in the condo, and I'm proud of being able to, one, have moved out on my own, but actually adapting to it very easily. I didn't used to do my laundry before, I do now, right? I didn't used to do a lot of stuff. I didn't have to clean all the dishes and all this, right? A lot of things that you have to do when you live out on your own, I actually adapted to pretty much instantly. It felt like I was ready for it, so I'm very happy about that. And I read over 40 books, and I will be more than doubling that this year. My plan is to read at least 2 books a week, which would be about an hour and a half per week. But I did slack on the reading for the last couple of months, so that should have been higher.
Hey everyone, so I just want to quickly interject here before I take off and end the video, just to go over some of the things that I need to improve upon that didn't go so well throughout the year. I think it's important to include this as well. I forgot to do some of the videos. So some of the things that I'm focusing on in the health department is keeping up with my cardio a little bit better. So this year, for example, you'll see my video about my goals, but this year I have a specific goal for how fast I want to run a mile in, and the fact that I want to do cardio daily, as I didn't keep up with that as good as I could have near the end of this year. Another thing is reading. I mentioned that my reading wasn't the greatest for a bit there. I definitely fell off for the last couple of months, actually, which I'm not proud about. But again, moving forward, I understand, I look at that, I analyze some of the drawbacks of the year, some of the things that didn't go so well, and I improve upon that. In terms of business, same deal. I know that I can grow exponentially, but moving to online and making that change was so drastic. And at the same time as transitioning to online, shortly after I moved out, and that actually caused a radical lifestyle change to where it took me about 2 months of massive procrastination, where I was really just taking a toll with wasting hours and hours a day, getting distracted too easily, doing the wrong things, and kind of enjoying my freedom a little bit too much. So that's another thing that I've obviously already started working on and improving upon, but that's something else I'm keeping in mind. So that's going to be that. Another thing would be that my diet did fall off a little bit on my bulk, but we're tightening that up in the new year. So these are some things you want to look back, reflect on certain things that maybe didn't go as well as you were hoping to, or as well as you would like to in the future, because obviously looking at the negatives is what helps us move forward. This video was really just, as I mentioned, an archive to remind me in the future as to what I accomplished back then, where I was in my life back at this point, you know, looking, let's say, a few years in the future when I look back to this video. So that's the main purpose of it. If you watched until this point, I really appreciate it. And back
still
to
a milestone, if you ask me, still an accomplishment. So these are some of the amazing things that I achieved, along with other little things that still had an impact, I should say, on how the year went. So again, very grateful for everything, and it's very important that I look at these and understand that, hey, I got a lot done, because it's easy to overlook all these things. It's been a great year, 24 years old to 25 years old. Been a great year, and I recommend that you look at the things that you've accomplished this year as well. Sorry, I'm looking at my notes here. Well, I recommend that you look at the things that you accomplished this year and make something similar, like whether it's a video, you don't have to publish it on YouTube, whether it's a video, whether it's a written thing that you archive in your computer or somewhere like that. Maybe it's something you print off, keep in a binder, something to look back on in the future to remind yourself where you were today, see how far you've come, what you accomplished around this time in your life, and also how much further you can go. So I think all those things are important. So, you know, that's pretty much it for this one. Again, to anybody watching, thank you so much. All the real MVPs out there always liking, commenting, sharing my YouTube videos. You know who you are. Really appreciate you guys. Wouldn't be able to do what I love without it. And got big plans for the channel come 2020, as it's going to be my 4th year going into this. So 3 years, we're about to hit the 10K mark. Once we hit that, there's probably gonna be a giveaway. I still have to figure that out. But that's gonna be it for this one. So again, couldn't explain, words can't help me explain how grateful I am for all your support. So with that said, make sure you hit that like button, and don't forget to share any of my content on the channel. Take a look at it, prepare yourself for the new year to come. Hope you all have had an amazing Christmas and have an amazing new year. And that's gonna be it for this one, guys. So thank you so much again, and I'll see you in the next one. I'm out.